What is going on, you degenerates? Welcome back to the channel. You got Kyle here from Speedbets, bringing you guys a breakdown for the entire PFL card. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this card is long. If you care enough to be watching a PFL video, I'm sure you already know that. There's 16 fights, 10 of them are 5-rounders. This card could go on for 10 hours. I don't think it will. I don't think a lot of these fights are going to go that long. However, I just know this is probably going to be a long video. Sit down, relax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink. Now, for some of these fights where if it's just super low level shit, I'm not going to go too in depth with it. Like, for example, this first fight, there is not a whole lot to say. I'm not going to break down the style of Dantas because he doesn't have a style. Okay? So yeah, just if I keep it short for some fights, I've watched the tape. I just fucking man, you can join the Discord. You can talk to me about it. I've been talking about it. You can talk to my partner in crime here in the business, Schmoopy. He's seen me doing this meticulous tape study. I've been making TikToks about some of the shit I'm seeing, man. I mean, this shit is just tough. When you get these fighters that aren't experienced and they're fighting in like, I'm watching some Jungle FC or like Jungle Fight. Like you just, it's hard, man. As a big MMA fan, I love it. As a UFC fan, I hate it because I'm just watching it and I'm so used to just kind of capping on the UFC where it's like, oh man, this guy isn't even UFC caliber. He's gonna lose. Fucking nobody's UFC caliber, man. I'm watching two guys fight and it looks like neither of these guys have ever fought before. It's just tough. So it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing this. But I'm gonna emphasize when I have a very confident read, and I'm just for this first one right here. I'm not gonna go too in depth. All right, man. Without further ado, let's get started. You got Dantas here taking on Costello Van Steenis. This fight, plain and simple, Dantas might be the worst striker I've ever seen before. This guy is going life and death with some roid monster in his last fight, Carlos Alberto something something. Life and death, got fucking clipped in the first round, somehow battled back, got a knockout, and he just hasn't fought in 2 years. He's still young, so I mean, obviously you can improve, but just with the way he fights, I don't know. He'd have to improve everything for me to believe that he's gonna beat Costello here. Costello, he snatched Fabian Edwards. Oh, Leon Edwards' little bro. He snatched that shit up, and then he lost to Douglas Lima like a fucking boss. He's pretty ass too. I'm not gonna lie. This is a very low level fight. Not sure why it's being made, but Stevens is like a minus 700 favorite. He's going to win the fight. It's more or less you picking how he wins it. Kind of leaning submission. Dantas, when he's on the feet, he's just throwing with the illest intentions I've ever seen. Every punch is a kill shot. He's going to gas out. I'm going to go probably like a round 2, round 3, maybe a ground and pound TKO, maybe a sub. There's no way Dantas' style can be sustainable for more than like 5 minutes. I mean, all of his fights are like round 1 knockout, round 1 knockout, round 2 knockout, round 2 knockout. What's going to happen in the third round? Like this, you can't keep swinging like that forever, man. Got to run out of juice at some point. I'm going to pick Costello by a third round submission. Next fight up, we have Acela Juge. Also, I'm going to butcher like all these names, by the way. Don't expect good pronunciations. When I'm watching fights back, I'm not listening to the commentary generally because I don't like to be not necessarily for regional fights. I don't think they do this as much, but for the UFC, the commentary can be just blatantly biased towards one fighter, and it kind of skews how you view the fight. So I just have commentary off. I'm like listening to music and stuff. So I don't hear like the commentators or the announcers talking about these guys. I don't hear them bringing up the names and how to pronounce them. I'm just freeballing right now, man. I'm gonna go with Acela Juge taking on Jose Perez. Now, we were on Jose Perez in his last fight. There was some weird shit going on. Tapology, like 90% of people were on Jesse Stern or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. It's just super weird. And then Jose Perez just kept becoming a wider and wider favorite. But for some reason, nobody was picking him on Tapology. I think that might have been a glitch. I don't really know what was happening there. Jesse Stern was just an old ass grappler. Jose Perez is more of a younger grappler. He's not too impressive on the takedowns. He's going to be a little bit smaller than Ajuj here. Ajuj is more of a kickboxer. He's going to keep you at range. He's good. He kind of pushes people back. He keeps them at range to avoid the wrestling threat. It doesn't necessarily always work, but for him, it's working pretty well right now. Sale's only professional loss was his debut. It's kind of funny that guy that beat him in his debut just has never fought again. He just like gave up on fighting or something. I don't know what's going on with that, but this fight's just textbook grappler versus striker. Ajuj is going to be trying to defend the takedowns. Jose Perez is going to be trying to get the takedowns. Basically, what you're betting here is, can Jose Perez take Ajuj down? Because if he takes him down, he can get on top. I don't see Ajuj getting up. He doesn't seem to have the best. I guess we really haven't seen too much of him on his back. But I just don't feel like this guy is a guy that's going to have that urgency. That's completely speculative, but I just think Jose Perez is going to be able to get in on a couple takedowns. I could definitely see this fight going to a split decision one way or the other. For my official pick, give me Ajuj by a 29-28 split decision. But don't be surprised if Jose Perez comes out with a dub here. I think the safest bet is to take this fight goes the distance. Now we have a little bit of an interesting fight here. Two heavyweight grapplers going at it. Now I'd say, in my opinion, Slim is going to be the better grappler here. I think this fight, crazy to say a heavyweight fight's going long, but I think this fight's going all the way. O versus O, as in neither of them have lost, is a pretty fun matchup here. I like when organizations do this because these two guys both have promise. So I think whoever wins this is going to be kind of getting looked at as maybe taking the next step up. Now Slim was actually looked at by the UFC. He was signed. He was going to fight Parker Porter. Real tough matchup there, let me just say. But that inevitably fell through. I think there was some contract issues or something. I don't really know. I'm not going to speculate too much on that. But if the UFC is looking at this guy, it wasn't even just like a contender series offer, like they actually were willing to sign him. I think that they already obviously see the talent in him. I think they're seeing what I'm seeing in the film. I think he's going to be the better grappler, the better wrestler. I think he's going to take this fight 3 hard rounds. Now, Bavli, he is pretty good. This is going to be the best fighter that each of these guys have both fought, if that makes sense. They both really haven't fought anyone. I mean, they have that unanimous win over Louis Sutherland. Or unanimous, whatever the fucking word is, man. It's late right now, and I'm breaking down PFL heavyweights on the prelims. What is life? But Louis Sutherland, that's just a big-ass dude. Obviously, Bavli beat him first, and then Slim beat him second. Only 2 career losses. I don't know what you want to take away from that, man. Louis Sutherland's just a big dude. give me Slim by decision. Moderate confidence in this one. Next fight on the board, we have Mansour Barnaoui. Like I said, guys, I'm freeballing on the names and not listening to the commentary. Fuck that. I'm also not going to Google how to say these names. I think it's a lot more fun if I do it this way. Taking on Alfie Davis. Now, Mansour has an interesting case. This guy, he went on this huge win streak in this Road FC. I believe it was a tournament. I don't know if he won money or if he just got like the title there. Obviously, he got the title when you win. I don't know if that came with like a big check or why he was doing that. But that's kind of where he spent the better part of a few years. And then, interestingly enough, when he got to Bellator, he took a couple questionable losses. I mean, this guy, he was just out grappling everybody, strangling everybody in his path. I mean, let me read you this win streak right here. Rear naked choke round 1, rear naked choke round 1, rear naked choke round 1, rear naked choke round 3, flying knee round 3, rear naked choke round 1, rear naked choke round 2. And then he instantly gets into Bellator, like an actual, like a decent promotion where there's some decent quality fighters. And then Primus outgrapples him. Okay, fair. That's Primus. He's good. Despite his age, he's really fucking good. He can just wrestle you and you're going to throw up submissions and nothing's going to happen. And then he gets outgrappled by J.J. Wilson. Now, this one stumped me for a while. I watched this fight a couple times. I just don't understand. You're going to get outgrappled by J.J. Wilson, but you're going to put everybody else out? I don't know. And then he had a good bounce back win. It was a total step down, just not even comparable to anyone he'd been fighting recently. In Yasuke Yachi, he just got a nice darts choke in the first round. Very clean sub. And back in the day, so before that Primus loss, this guy had only taken a couple career losses. These are 3 of his 4 losses before that, okay? Mateusz Gamrot on the regional scene, Kevin Lee on the regional scene, and Islam Makhachev on the regional scene. This guy's fought some killers. Now, I was just doing a little bit of degenerate research because that's what I love doing. I love this sport, man. I was looking at that M1 card where he fought Islam. Funnily enough, on that card, Nikita Krylov and Muslim Salikov also got wins on the regional scene. Just kind of like a triage of UFC Muslim fighters in that card. It was pretty cool. Watch those fights. I mean, Nikita Krylov's record is so padded, man. This guy was fighting debutants for his entire career. I'm gonna make a fucking separate video on this guy. Nikita Krylov needs to be exposed for that. But let me not get ahead of myself here. We're not talking about Nikita Krylov. We're talking about Alfie Davis now. No, I mean Alfie Davis. There's not a ton to break down. I don't think he's on the same level on the ground as Mansour. Obviously, I'd hope not. But then again, J.J. Wilson was on the same level, so it's like you don't really know. I'm gonna trust Mansour here to get a submission. We're gonna pick him by rear naked strangle. I mean that's just what he's been doing. That's what he's gonna continue to do. Hopefully, maybe if Alfie shoots in, he can get a nice little guillotine or a darce or something. Cool little front choke, but I'm gonna go rear naked choke for the official call. Round 2. Actually, no, this guy doesn't fuck with round 2. It's either round 1 or round 3. Give me round 1. Round 1 submission, Mansour, rear naked choke. Next up, we got Georgia Seed taking on Mohsen. I'm not even going to try that last name. And this fight right here should be a lot of fun. I think it's criminal that neither of these guys have a picture on the PFL website, despite both competing in Mena events before. But whatever. This one's for the lightweight championship, both finalists here. I don't see this fight going long. I think the safest bet for this fight is you want to bet the under. I mean, Mohsen, he's coming out with some pressure. This guy starts every fight, he starts it hot. He's chasing the round 1 knockout. This guy does not go into a fight planning to see round 2. He just kind of improvises if he gets there. His most recent loss was a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, to Rong Zhu, who's a UFC fighter now. You might know him as the guy that just lost to Chris Padilla with that nasty elbow. We picked Chris Padilla as a 2-1 dog in that fight. Whatever. Anyways, then we got Georgia Seed over here. This guy, he is a little bit bigger. Obviously, you see 5'8" on the Mohsen side. Georgia Seed might be a little bit taller than 5'10". I don't know if that's 100% true. Pretty big guy. He uses all of that size. And he does like to go forward, though. That's one thing these guys have in common. They both go forward. I can see someone going to sleep in this fight very early. This fight could easily end in the first round for either fighter. I'm going to pick Mohsen, but that's not a confident pick at all. His cardio is unknown. He doesn't go long often. We've seen it once, twice maybe. And it's not against high-level guys. Georgia Seed's probably the best fighter that he's ever fought, unless you want to count Rong Zhu, but I don't think Rong Zhu's all that solid. So yeah, give me Mohsen here for the knockout round 1, but that's not too confident of a call. Alright, next fight, Bantamweight Championship. We have Ali Talib, whatever you want to say, taking on Rashid Haz. That's how they have it on Tapology. That's how I'm going to pronounce it here. I'm not doing Hazuami. Whatever, man. These names are not going to get any easier as we go up. I should probably work on this. I'm going to start trying to do some more regional fight breakdown videos. So I got to get better at these regional sounding names. Anyways, this fight's pretty straightforward. I think Ali Talib's going to knock out Rashid here. I just don't see anything out. I'm just going to call him the Haz. I don't see anything out of the Haz that's necessarily special. He's a little bit of everything. I think he's good everywhere, but he's nothing special anywhere. Whereas I think Ali has the massive advantage on the feet. He's not a wonder to watch. He's not a fucking delight to watch on the feet. But when he hits you hard, okay? When he hits you, you're going to know that he hit you. But at the same time, he's not like Dantas or whatever earlier, where he's just fucking winding up for that one punch. It's not necessarily like that. It's a little bit more technical, but nothing special. He just hits pretty hard, and he hits often. He has good accuracy. I just think he's gonna find the knockout here. I think in his last couple fights here, maybe you're wondering like, is he really even looking for the finish 2 fights ago? He was. He just wasn't able to find it, and then he got out-rustled by Khurshid Kakrov is the man that out-rustled him. So that is a concern, but I don't think Rashid, the Haz, is really going to be able to do that to him. I just don't see that in his bag of tricks. He's probably going to try. I'm going to trust Ali to stuff those takedowns, stay on the feet, kind of fight him from range, and put him out in the 3rd round. Alright, this one's an amateur women's atomweight. I'm really sitting here breaking down amateur women's atomweight fights. I'm just going to put it how it is. Al Saif, or whatever the hell her name is, the PFL clearly wants her to win. They're doing atomweight promos, and she's just the only fighter they're showing. They just didn't put any other fighters in the fucking promo for the atomweight. And then she does have knockout power, which is rare for an atomweight. Obviously, 105 pounds, you don't really think you're generating that much power. She's gotten a couple knockout, TKO, quits, whatever you want to call it, retirements. She gotten two of them against people who just didn't belong in the cage with her. They just weren't fair matchups. I'd be hard pressed to believe the PFL is gonna give her a girl that's meant to be in there with her already. They're gonna take their time. They're gonna build her up, probably get her to 5-0, then give her a professional debut against another girl, maybe like a 39-year-old who's on her way out. It's just gonna be bad. I just don't think Lilia. We can't find any tape. There's nothing out there. I mean, give me Al Saif by knockout round one, round two. Round two has been the round of choice for her as round two has been the round of choice as of now for her, both of her fights. So, you know what? Just give me round two. Whatever. This fight shouldn't be close. Now, this fight's another one where I'm a little disappointed. They don't have pictures. These guys have both fought in Mena 2, Mena 3. Like, come on, guys. But we have a Muhammad Alekra taking on Omar El Dafwari. Now, these guys actually did fight back in the day. By back in the day, I mean like a year and a half ago. That was in UAE Warriors. These guys both fought each other, and it sucks, man. Muhammad Alekra, his sucks, dude. He just sucks to watch. It's a miserable watch doing tape on him, but damn, he's good at what he does. He's like a less exciting Bilal Muhammad. I mean, he's just such a phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal grappler. He's not getting finishes. He is hitting them on the ground a little bit. He's not literally just half guard camping like fucking Michael Chiesa style. But he is pretty bad in terms of just kind of not really doing a whole lot. He's going to get the decision win. Omar El Dafwari is such an exciting striker. This guy has some great striking, phenomenal like counter striking. He even leads the dance from time to time. He knocked out Al Sawai. That guy has no fucking chin. He's been knocked out like 5 times, I swear. And then he's got some other decent wins. He signed to Brave FC for a little bit, had an 0-3 run, a little crazy. And then he signed to UAE Warriors, trying to mix it up, and he got Muhammad Alekra. It sucks, man. I don't see the fight going any other way. Alekra is going to get the takedowns. He's going to ride him out, and it's going to be a decision win. Next fight up, we have what is almost an immediate rematch here, and Abdelrahman Althayas and Abdullah El Kuwanti Kaltani. Whatever, man. I can't stress this enough. I do not care how to pronounce their names. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to listen to an announcer say it. I do not care. I break down the film. I give you guys my thoughts. That's what's important, not how to say their names. Anyways, basically, they just fought. And Abdullah was a huge favorite, and he sold the bag. That's basically just how this went in short. He looks like somehow a mix of Jordan Levitt and Brian Battle. I don't know if anyone else is seeing that. That's just kind of what I'm getting from this picture. However, he had nothing. I mean, Abdullah, he just wasn't better anywhere than Abdelrahman. He controlled the grappling. He even got a couple takedowns. He controlled the striking, the range, everything. Everything was just in Abdelrahman's favor. I believe he won all 3 rounds. Now, this fight is going to be short notice because Islam Rida, however you want to say that, he was supposed to fight for this featherweight championship. He withdrew. I believe he had an injury. So now we get Abdullah back in the mix. This fight is relatively short notice. I don't know exactly when it got canceled and rebooked. I don't pay that much attention to the PFL. However, short-ish notice for a 5-round fight championship against a guy who's already beat you, who owned you everywhere, cannot be easy. I'm going to go with Abdelrahman to just do it again. I think that it probably goes all 5, but I wouldn't be surprised to catch him getting a late-round TKO if Abdullah isn't conditioned properly and isn't taking it maybe the way he should be. However, yeah, give me Abdelrahman by decision. Alright guys, I'm sorry, I forgot to record an outro for this, so I'm coming back while I'm editing this. I just had a lot of shit going on. I recorded this video on like Tuesday. I meant to do the main card as well. Didn't get to it, so this is just going to be the Mena. I'm probably going to do a quick picks or a rapid fire picks video for the main card after this one, but that'll be a separate video. I'm sweating out some Thursday night football bets right now. Looking good so far. We have the Packers -3. The Packers are crushing them right now. Yeah, just a good time. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you want to get the bets, get the picks. I'm going to be giving out some free picks when this card starts, 6 in the morning. Be ready for that, man. I'm going to give out some free method of victory props, maybe some round props, everything, man. We're doing everything we can in the Discord to give some free plays out. But yeah, join up. First link in the description. 100% free to join the Discord. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one, man. Peace out. Let's make some money.